The year is 2001 and gamers are angry. One of their favorite franchises has swerved in a new artistic direction. The problem with the game is very clear. The graphics are terrible. The graphics are so bad, in fact, that they completely ruin the game. This game was The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Thankfully, gamers were never wrong again. Today, I'm going to be discussing The Last of Us 2 with some of the greatest minds of the YouTube comments section. For the safety of the viewers, I feel I need to warn you guys that I'm sorting comments by news, so please be careful watching this. Now, when I reviewed Last of Us 2, I rattled the monkey cage pretty good. This is my most disliked video ever, which is a little weird to me. I've been talking shit on beloved games for years, and people have been getting pissed off at me for years, but it wasn't until I actually liked the game that people really started freaking out. I Am Monkey God, along with 300 other people, calls me a sellout. What is my response? Well, Monkey God, I love you, but you are one stupid motherfucker. First things first, you need to realize who you are talking to. It's me, baby. Video game donkey. Remember the guy who self-destructed his sponsorship with Microsoft when I couldn't even pay my rent? If I was a sellout, you know what I would do? I would read the room, go, oh look, everyone hates this game, and pander to fucking idiots. I am not here to regurgitate your opinion. I am here to make the videos I want to make, even if it pisses off some baboon brain, dumbass little bitch like you. Our next comment is from Jerome's. He says, you're stupid. Now, Jerome's makes an excellent point here. I am kind of stupid when you think about it. Although he did put the wrong "your." I don't even understand what this person is trying to even type. I don't know. Oh, the reason people dislike the story is because Joel wouldn't be so stupid to tell a random armed posse suspiciously chilling outside of their stronghold his name and what he's doing. Okay, so here is someone making an argument instead of whining like a little baby. I've seen a lot of people share this sentiment that it's completely out of character for Joel to die how he does, which is kind of funny to me, because to me the most jarring, most bizarre part of this game was where Joel busts in with a guitar and starts playing a song and singing. This is not what Joel does. He doesn't do this. Now, the Joel I know just kind of stands around and grunts, and when he goes somewhere new, he goes, man, this place smells like a goddamn Cheeto factory. And then he sees a dude limping along asking for help. He goes, that guy ain't even hurt. Joel fucking sees Tommy. He goes, hell, that ain't even the real Tommy. The truth is, that's the Joel from the beginning of the original game. When we first played as him, he was an empty husk of a person that is just going through the motions, and over the duration of the first game, we gradually see him transform back into an actual human being with a newfound sense of purpose. The Joel we see in Last of Us 2, no longer is it his gut reaction to run everybody over in a truck because he traded his truck for a horse, and in the end, it's some dumb, incidental slip-up that gets him killed. Christopher says, this story was terrible. Now, Christopher makes an excellent point here, but I actually disagree. Monster Hunter World, Doom Eternal, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Devil May Cry 5, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Gears of War 5, Pokemon Sword, Far Cry 5, Wolfenstein 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn. I've played all of these games, and some of them are actually good games, but now I am going to recount everything I remember about the story to these games. In Doom, you go to hell. I can tell you characters from these games like the funny Yoda and the talking chicken, but I can't actually recall specific story beats. You know, these stories, they left such little impact on me. Now, Last of Us 2, I can tell you what happened in that game. Some crazy ass shit. So let's just start here. Last of Us 2 is a good story because it's memorable and dramatic. It's not an untouchable masterpiece. It's not perfect. It's just a good, entertaining story. I went into this game already knowing that Joel would die, and yet when it happened, I was still absolutely floored. This is such a brutal, horrific scene, and really it's Ashley Johnson's performance as Ellie that sells it. They are killing off our favorite guy from Last of Us. This is the appropriate reaction. Compare this to Final Fantasy VII Remake, where Jessie dies. Now, I don't give a shit about Jessie. She is a two-dimensional, super annoying character, but what's really messed up is that Cloud doesn't care either. Right as she is about to die, he goes, you owe me a pizza. When Jessie dies, I go, okay, whatever. When Joel gets killed off, I am sitting here like, holy shit. I am emotionally affected by this, and now the rules are off the table. Anything can happen from here on out. I love when a story can actually surprise me and veer into unknown territory. I am so burnt out on formulaic bullshit stories, so when something crazy happens in a video game, I am here going, hell yeah, now Ellie has to go to outer space to fight aliens or some shit. Man, this is the first time I've disagreed with Donkey. Wow, this game sucks. But also, I've never played this game before or the first one. Here's a comment from Hideo Kojima. He says, don't listen to him, y'all. He didn't like, Kojima, get out of here. You don't make this game. Donkey is an idiot. Too popular and has lost any sort of credibility when it comes to reviews. People don't know why they hate it, except countless 4-hour reviews breaking down everything that makes the game bad with far better reasoning than anything in this video. Now, this comment is actually a masterpiece. He's mad that I said people don't know why they're mad. But at the same time, he still doesn't understand why he's mad. He references some mystery 4-hour video. He doesn't know what the video is called, and he can't name a single point from the video. Like, oh, what the fuck? There are smart, level-headed people with functioning brains who don't like The Last of Us 2 for valid reasons. And this is not one of them. I'll tell you why we're mad, Donkey. Thank you, Big Boss. Here we go. The world of Last of Us is not advanced in the slightest. Nothing happens. It's nothing more than a revenge narrative, and it feels lazy, like it could happen to anyone in Last of Us Part 2. But Last of Us Part 1, that story was Ellie and Joel to experience, and given all of this, and Cuckman's reputation for being a male feminist, the fact that Abby kills Joel when she is strongly implied to a transgender, it feels like Cuckman was pushing an agenda. Big Boss, I just want to thank you for finally making me understand why people hate this game so much. Tiger Sushi asks, what was more creative about this game than Part 1? I had the opposite feeling, that it was very one-note compared to the original. Well, Tiger Sushi, to me the original game is zombie up. Am I wrong? Dude loses his loved one, then he gets old and grumpy, then he meets a twerpy little kid, and the old guy's like, damn, this kid is annoying. Then they go on an adventure, and eventually the old guy goes, hey, this kid ain't so bad after all. Last of Us 2 does not remind me of any Pixar movies. I can't name a single video game where you stop halfway and play as the villain for the rest of the game. To me, that was a really creative move. The first game is more predictable, but has more consistent characters. Second game is like a roller coaster thrill ride with characters that are borderline schizophrenic. Now here's a genius guy. Zero mention of all the SJW trash pushed on us. People love the first game because it's not political in any way at all. Now stay with me, it gets better. Did the first game mention anyone's sexual orientation at all, apart from the trash DLC? The answer is no. How you guys don't see that is beyond me. What's great about these comments is that this is a man who is so convinced that he is correct, but turns out is 100% factually incorrect. Bill from the original game was gay. The game points out several times that Bill is gay. Doc Holliday, you are a bonobo ape. Ed Dobbs says, Fallout 76 was a better experience than Last of Us Part 2. Last of Us haters, this guy is on your side. So if you want to come over to my side now, no one will judge you. People can have different opinions, and I respect yours. Wait, what the fuck? Is this still YouTube comments? But killing off the best character in the game and then making you play as the scumbag who killed him for 20 hours is terrible game design. This is a loaded comment. The relationship between Joel and Ellie defined the original game, just as its absence defines the sequel. You do still have some parts with Joel, like the museum sequence, which is one of my favorite parts of the whole game, but yeah, this is a sad game, and you really do come to miss that character dynamic. Then there's Abby. The biggest trick of this game was to make Abby work as a character. How do you humanize her without hamming it up and turning her into a hero? Oh look, it's Abby's dad. What a great guy. He saves zebras. Also, he's gonna cut a little kid's brain out.
I won't let you take her.
Never mind, Joel shot her dad, and that's why she's evil now. But she's not evil because she loves Owen, but she doesn't give a fuck about Owen. She just wants to kill Joel. But look, she pets a doggy until she throws his ball over the fence. There are sympathetic things about her and horrible, repugnant things about her, and you just kind of sit on this moral teeter-totter. You fight this fucker zombie monster in the basement. You walk on a balancing beam between skyscrapers. You battle through this nightmare inferno. You end up going through so much stuff as Abby just to save these kids that eventually I went, damn.
After all we've been through. Everything that I've done. It can't be for nothing.
I'm Tommy from The Last of Us 2. I get shot in the temple by a magic bullet that performs surgery on me off screen. Does he really get shot in the head? Okay, I can explain this. Tommy is actually a character from Call of Duty Black Ops 4, where it takes 4 headshots to kill someone. Last of Us 2 is a game that takes itself super seriously, so when it makes goofy mistakes, they stick out like a sore thumb. The main thing that bothers me is how characters can now teleport. In the original game, it is a major pain in the ass to get anywhere. I mean, that was the whole plot of the game. In this one, right off the bat, Abby and her friends traveled 900 miles through a zombie apocalypse to investigate a rumor of a guy that might be somewhere. Then Ellie teleports to Seattle, then she teleports to Wyoming, then she teleports to California. The story is designed to be this horrific train wreck, but it does lean on contrivance a little too hard. This makes me wonder if you played the first game. Whether or not you did, you still seem retarded. He misspelled retarded. The classic move. This game is just revenge bad, hammered over and over again. I really don't think this game or the original are about trying to hammer home some profound message. The fun of these games to me is trying to unravel and figure out these characters, and I feel like a lot of the best characterization in this game went completely unnoticed. When you're playing as Ellie, you have all of these flashbacks to Joel where we find out the Firefly incident is driving a wedge between them. Ellie starts drifting away from Joel more and more until she finds out what really happened and cuts ties with him entirely. So when Joel gets killed, it dawns on Ellie that she wasted those few remaining years she had left with Joel, ignoring and resenting him. Guilt. This is what drives Ellie's revenge story. Later at the farm, Tommy comes to visit Ellie. He is just this broken man, physically and mentally, with his brother's death weighing so heavily over him. He knows Ellie still wants revenge, and he desperately tries to guilt her into pursuing Abby again because he can't. This is such a sickening, disturbing, and powerful scene, acted and written to perfection. I do think Last of Us 2 is largely a condemnation of violence, but not in a cheesy, one-dimensional way. The game wants you to feel bad for what you've done, but it also wants to piss you off. It wants to fill you with hate and says, here you go, dude. Shoot these dickheads that killed Joel with a dynamite arrow. The Last of Us 2 is support the homosexual. That's why I'm not play it. So if anyone wants to jump over to my side, you cannot make the player feel guilt for their actions if they didn't have the ability to choose something other than violence. This is true. It's against the gamer rules to do this, just like how you can't be sad when Arthur Morgan dies because you didn't choose that. I don't disagree that you can make the player feel a more pronounced sense of guilt when it was a decision that they made. Yoga Jake talks about this a lot in his recent video, but I also think this dichotomy between the player and the character is one of the most interesting parts of this game. There are tons of games where the main character is just a vessel for the player, but here they have their own volition. When we start as Ellie, I am right there with her going, hell yeah, they killed Joel. Let's get these sons of bitches, and I shoot tons of people, and it's fun because shooting video games are fun. And as it goes, her mission gets more and more depraved until she becomes the villain of the story. It's a game where the more you win, the worse things get, and I can understand why that would cause a disconnect, but I thought it was brilliant. I did feel bad for some of the things I did in this game, even if I was just following orders. This is what I love about Donkey. Even though the game does not have Donkey Kong, he still gave it a 4 out of 5. Truly an unbiased game critic. Thank you, Sig. I do try to be as fair as I can, even to these smaller budget games where they can't afford to bring in Donkey Kong. My whole issue is the ending, which just throws away the point of the whole game. Literally tracked Abby through states with revenge as an intent, but just because she got a little kid, she gets to live to play golf another day? Alright, Rivera, you want to go there? You want to go there? The ending to this game is probably the most controversial part of it, which is saying a lot. Ellie sacrificed so much to get to this moment and kill so many people, only to change her mind at the last second. Kinda like that one dude did in that PS3 game. I think it was called The Last Donut. Now when this happened, I went, what the fuck? I felt robbed. Even though I no longer wanted to kill Abby, it seemed like that was the inevitable conclusion to this story. If Naughty Dog really wanted to nail home this message of hate spawning hate, Ellie would kill Abby. Thematically, that is the more appropriate ending. However, I like the real ending more. This is a depressing game released in a miserable year. Can we not just have one optimistic little blip? Lev saves Abby, who spares Ellie, who ultimately saves both of their lives. Ellie remembers her final conversation with Joel was a good one and says fuck it. Why she spares Abby is left so extremely ambiguous it could be interpreted forever. But I think these guys hit the nail on the head. Pearl Jam is the key to all of this. At the start of the game, me and Ellie were synced up. We wanted the same thing, but then she starts drifting away from Joel, from Dina, and the player. She becomes this unrecognizable monster who has lost so much of her own identity that killing Abby no longer means anything. I like what this guy says too, when Ellie goes,
"No, just take him."
She's not talking about Liv. When she returns home, Ellie can no longer play Joel's guitar, which helped her keep his memory alive. You could see this as a cruel twist of fate, but now that those memories can fade away, Ellie can move on and hopefully live the life Joel would have wanted for her. Ladies and gentlemen, Obi Kenobi from Star Trek. He says, "I love how Donkey showed us the metric score to attempt to prove a point. Show us the user scores too." So Obi-Wan's getting a little bit senile in his old age, but just for you, Obi-Wan, I am now going to read some Metacritic user reviews. Here we go. Just no, not worth playing, not fun, not groundbreaking, not interesting or exciting. Naughty Dog's downfall. One of the most meh games I ever played, written by a soy boy that ruined Naughty Dog as a company. No more likable characters because of reasons you can view in other comments. This is an incredible masterpiece, a must to play. The baddest game in history. This game must be the game that can enter the list of games I don't like. Trash agenda. This could be a great game, but Anita had to add Palico Gina agenda. I gotta play a story-based game with a shit story that it's my fault because I'm a homophobe? Seriously, Days Gone did a way better job than this. Shit. I guess Obi-Wan was right. But now, just to be safe, let's look at the reviews for a good game, like Days Gone. The story is very emotional and smart, deep story with awesome graphics. This game, it's a masterpiece storytelling. The story and characters are top notch, and at times I even felt emotion. Storytelling is so good that I thought I was dreaming. Good storyline, not like shitty The Last of Us 2. Deep storyline with white, straight protagonist. Damn. Well, it looks like the people have spoken. Last of Us 2 is a terrible 3 out of 10 story. Meanwhile, Days Gone is an 8 out of 10 masterpiece of storytelling. Now, Paulie, play the clip of Days Gone.
Oh, wait a second. Here, you can have this one back. But only if you promise to ride me as much as you ride your bike.
The story is the best ever.